Hi there and welcome back, my friends, to Torment, Tides of Numenera. We're talking to the sorrow. And we need to take a choice. Continue. I'm sorry. The endless pursuit. Contain all the consciousnesses in a body. Or sever the connection between cast-offs and make them all die. How do I choose now? I have entwined myself through every piece of this place. It is mine. Tell me your choice and I will make it reality if I approve. But we have to resist that, I think. If you'd prefer that we all die, why don't you just sever the connection? Manifest it here, but I do not control the resonance itself. I am the lock on the door, while your thoughts are the key. Your will remains paramount in this place. I can resist your choice, but I cannot make the choice for you. What if I don't approve my choice? And I will oppose you with all my strength. That is why I'm here. Very well, I'm ready to make my choice. Ripples in the mental breeze that flows from your confidence. I await your decision. Could use the resonance to destroy it. Because we think the sorrow is lying, or we'll choose Mika. If we believe her. Why should we accept its authority, though? I mean, how can we trust something that just wants to kill? I reject your authority, King Sorrow. I'll use the resonance to destroy you, and all of us will live free. Stirs and stars, and the colors that flicker around the sorrow are like angry lightning. Did you not understand me? If you destroy me, you destroy the protections on the tides. You'll unleash an explosion of tides. You'll drive hundreds of thousands of people to madness, death, or worse. You'll pollute this land for generations. I will oppose you with every ounce of my strength. Yeah, well. Oh my goodness, what can we can say a lot. Destroyed civilizations already. I feel the deaths of each victim. I'll end you. I act for the good of the future, because this life's pale when compared to the horrors you might yet unleash. So long as you live, we are slaves to terror. Destroying you will be truly free. I've studied you. I'm your equal. Nah, that's not good. I brought you here while you guided me. I manipulated you. I'm ready to end you now. Cast-offs are my family? Not really. Your existence limits the bounds of progress, enforcing the will of your creators on us. With you gone, the tides can be freely and fully explored. As you speak these words, you feel your psyche changing and flowing into stronger channels. Tides surge within you, a power yearning to be set free, and in this strange place you see the glow of their energies pulse within your veins. For the briefest moment in this time, not time, you see the sorrow flinch away from you. As you wish, the sorrow coils in upon itself and begins to unwind a streaming tapestry of tendrils tattered minds and captured tides, a kaleidoscope of colors undreamt by the human mind. Every urge, every nerve in your body screams of danger, poison, an unstoppable predator. Sorrow billows and blooms and rears above you as it prepares the annihilating blow. Now I will unleash a tidal surge. You feel the ebb and flow of the psychic energy you have honed throughout your life, and it roils and simmers at your mental touch. You raise a hand and you feel the tides leap within you. They spill forth a tsunami of overwhelming psychic power, and incredibly they perforate the sorrow. It faces you for a moment, and you can feel the unbalanced energies within it spiraling out of control. With a scream that sounds as if it burst from the throats of a million corpses, the sorrow erupts in a corona of tidal flame, erasing everything around it. You fool, you have brought madness to the innocent. I really don't know, because we don't believe it. Goblets of energy spatter the chamber with a final desperate lunge. Sorrow casts its dissipating self across the resonance, immersing itself in its radiance. You feel your immortality stripped away, piece by piece. Now, is sorrow coming, or what? The resonance darkens, the sorrow's will eating away at its integrity like acid. You feel the chamber breaking down around you, the labyrinth disintegrating, and your connection to your fellow cast-offs disappearing. The dream space fades as the sorrow implodes, and then darkness. What? You waken on the cold floor of the Memovera's fortress. You open your eyes, vertigo assails you. What is that here? You sit up. Detritus of the battle surrounds you and the other cast-offs. Outside the fortress you hear screams on the wind. Terror, insanity, gibbering and murder. This is your doing. An unearthly shriek rises from Calistique's throats, and the screams cross reality in a horrible dimensional harmony. Calistique struggles against her sisters, all of them maddened, insensate, flickering through solidity and out again. Ghostly, multicolored streamers coruscate visibly around her, bedeviling her and all her echoes, and at last they fall to the ground, twitching. They are not dead, though death might be a kindness. Scan thoughts. Get off me, get away, you're killing me, get off me! Yeah. First cast of eyes you speculatively. I honestly didn't think that you had the spine for a choice like that. He listens to the wailing outside. It's a hard thing to choose the good one of one group over another. She claps you on the shoulder, but we have much more to offer than they. Do you think the sorrow's really gone? Well, you just blasted it with the force of the resonance. It feared that. It isn't here right now destroying us. I guess it's not entirely destroyed, but it's not going to be bothering us again. All worth it in the long run. You're serious that you think the sorrow is gone? It was just a part. Of course it is. At least for the foreseeable future. Where will you go now? Sorrow is dead, she shrugs. I've spent most of my life hiding from it, finding ways to defeat it. It's time for me to figure out what my next goals are. She removes her mask for a moment, letting the air play on her ruined face. I should find a way to get a new body, probably. Not one with these flaws she loves, but we'll see what the future holds. Scan thoughts. Maybe there's even a way to get our immortality back. Turn to Tiger. What will you do now? I suppose there's nothing for it. What is done, and we must move on with our lives. Rin hates it. Tiberius strokes his mustache gravely. My first order of business is to find someone with a conscience. Seems I've had a sign or two that I should reconsider how bloodthirsty my companions are. And thought it's terrifying to discover someone more heartless than yourself.
I've earned some distance from this whole mess, to my mind. Think I'll take it. And soon.
Screams batter against the fortress walls. You do your best to ignore them. What's done is done. The future lies before you, and can be one of your choosing. Yeah, we'll set out to atone for what wrongs we've done. Apparently, the Sorrow hasn't lied. I didn't know this, though. Yes, you will fix this, though you're not sure how. Not yet, but you have the time, and you will gather allies to help you. You set off through the blackened, bloody rubble into the wider world beyond. Thousands lost their minds in Sagas and the surrounding lands. The unaffected struggled to go on with their lives while madness plagued the countryside. It prowled the alleys and hollows of the place like the predator the Sorrow had been. It was just like the Sorrow had unleashed. Meanwhile, the Cast-offs, mortal, yet still very long-lived, carried on as they always had, bickering, fighting and hiding, a vast and ever-growing shadow. As the decades passed, they felt the tides stir and strengthen. They turned their attentions from each other and guarded their lives like precious treasure, walling themselves off from the world, increasingly terrified that their hunter might someday return. You were remembered for your great acts of compassion and sacrifice. For years to come, tales of your life inspired the people of the Ninth World to follow the murmuring of their conscience and protect those who could not protect themselves. Seeking a way to atone for this part in the death of Ovinje, Tibia left Sagas and the Bloom in the company of a band of mercenaries with a noble reputation, well nobler than most. Eventually he saved enough to fund a mercenary band of his own, comprised of idealists, selfless lunatics, poets, prostitutes and wealthy runaways. Tibia and his tribe of penniless sellswords roved about the land for many years, protecting the innocent, by picking suicidal fights with tyrants and bandits alike, all in the name of protecting the innocent. Tibia died on the wall of a village under siege, a veritable army, and he died happy. or whatever the being truly called himself, wandered off into the pathways of the labyrinth, while the last Cast-offs confronted the Sorrow and was never seen again. But it died there, or found a strange door to a stranger place. None can say. Rin returned to her world content. It rescued the one who had so kindly rescued her. In so doing, she brought closure to a significant part of her life. She would never forget the last Cast-off. As for the rest of the story, that has yet to be written. The girl known as Loss of Self fought the personality that had been growing in her mind for so long. It was a losing battle. In the moment when she felt her mind slipping away and the other girl taking over, she leaped off the edge, disappearing into the black water below. Nim and Zeb remained in Cliff's Edge for many years. Nim became an artist. Her sculptures never sold very well. Zeb found work in the underbelly as a scavenger of the foreman. Their father Sebak returned from the Bloom finally. He was proud of what his children had become, and the three of them lived a hard but joyful life together. The veterans of the Fifth Eye enjoyed their retirement from the psychic wars. They drank, they laughed. They retold the same tales to anyone who would listen, until one by one their minds faded, and soon there was only Ciobe drinking with her friends by herself. The tiny construct children of the crippled foreman scattered throughout the city. They began building things at random, much to the consternation of the master foreman. Finally, the master foreman called for his workers to bring the small constructs into him. He was surprised at how much they had grown. Apparently they had been building themselves as well as random pieces of the city. He now instructs them, treating them as he does his human workers, although it's clear he favors them more. What's unclear is how well they will continue to follow his instructions. The quakes beneath Sega's cliffs ceased for many years despite Pillai's concerns that without leverage over them the Sticha would return someday. She would stand in the square most days, preaching her fear to whomever would listen. One day Pillai announced that she had evidence that Sticha had returned. She called for a group of brave souls to follow her beneath the city to stop them before it was too late. Several of her bravest listeners followed her into the dark. Nobody knows what had become of them. The Endless Gate closed. Ronos and the other surviving memorialists were able to clean and rebuild. There were so few of them left, so it took months before the last of the blood was removed. They used several different barrier ciphers to block the tomb that had held the Endless Gate in case something else ever came through again. They never did get rid of the smells. The bloom was relatively quiet for days after the Sorrow's attack on the Memovira's fortress. Nearly all of the Memovira's soldiers had fled, and the rest of the bloom's denizens waited quietly, wondering what would happen. When the Memovira did not return and nobody rose up to take her place, that's when the fighting began. It started with the mutants of Little Nilyesh, but soon every faction was involved. The bloom became a deadly battleground, one the bloom itself seemed to encourage, engorging itself on the lust of its denizens. Riska harbored a small contingent of civilians inside the fortress, hoping that the violence would die down. They are still there and hoping. Koti served the observant spec as well as he knew how, though he never quite felt comfortable working in the shrine. He was loyal and trustworthy. When Spec told him she was passing on and asked him to take on the mantle of observant Spec, he refused. He lived out the rest of his days working in the shrine, quiet and safe, and very nearly content. Artaglio and his troop remained in Chirurgeon's slum, free from the desires of the Maw. Artaglio became more jovial, friendly even. He drank less and extorted less. Though he still extorted, of course, the man's got to make a living somehow. When the troubles in the bloom started, Artaglio and his man barricaded Chirurgeon's slump. Still there, though the bloom itself tears down every barricade they wrecked. They simply build another one, making sure the slump at least remains safe. A few cast-offs return to the rubble of Miela West. It will take them years to rebuild. They do so anyway. It is their city, their home. Even if the shields were inoperable or unnecessary, it is still a sanctuary for them and a memorial to their beloved Adiris. Well, thank you for watching, and happy gaming to you. That was a crazy journey, and the end leaves me somehow speechless. It was like walking through a book together, a strange book written by a madman in a space beyond the stars. A great time until next time, and happy gaming. This is Immanuel Khan signing out. See you soon, my friends, in another video. Happy gaming.